Hi, Miss Brown here.
So my name is Molly, and I'm an NHS alumni from the class of 2011.
My name is Dottie Matthews, and I'm the Workplace Chaplain for Goodwill of North Central Wisconsin.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm a senior, and I am gay.
I'm Sammy. I am a senior as well, and I am gay as well.
I'm Miss Viard, Senora Viard.
This is Kyle Armstrong here. I graduated from NHS last year.
I'm Krista. I'm a senior, and I am a lesbian.
I'm Jolie. I'm a sophomore.
3 years ago, Hannah and I held hands for the first time in the hallway, and it was one of the first openly, as long as we were in school, one of the first openly gay couples who, walked through the hallways and held hands, and it was a bit of a difficult experience.
I think we were just really nervous because we had never seen anybody else that was gay hold hands in the hallway, and we were worried about what people would think and if people would stare.
And they did.
They did stare.
Definitely stared.
Quite a bit.
It was a scary experience holding hands for the first time because as we were going down the hallway, you're trying not to look at anybody's eyes, but everybody's staring at you, and a lot of the times it feels like straight couples don't have to go through that kind of thing. If you lose friends over it, you lose friends over it because they weren't actually real friends, to begin with, and you'll find people who will accept you.
People are always asking, who's your crush? Who's your crush? And they're just pushing for something, and so you're at that point where you're just like, I don't know, Tommy, and you just make something up because that's what you have to do. Until sophomore year, my identity was pretty, nobody really cared. And then sophomore year, I made one move. I cut my hair. That's all I did. And it came to be that point where I wanted to come out. Where I wanted to say, hey, this is it. I like women.
I would say that it was unsafe both emotionally and physically to come out, and especially to be proud and outright about who you were in regards to your sexuality at that point. I cannot think of one person that came out in my school, and there is not one person that I could say was very outright in proclaiming their sexuality. I think that says a lot. I think that it says that at that point we were very sort of narrow-minded in what it meant to be normal and acceptable. And I think, it was apparent in the way that we spoke to each other that gay and faggot were probably the two most hurtful things that you could call somebody, and that just in the way that we spoke at that point, it really made it almost impossible for somebody to feel like they would be accepted.
Recent surveys show that anywhere from 3 to 10% of the population is lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered. Just think about that. 1 in 10, possibly. And I'm going to pull out the old trick. Look around you. There are probably, as you're sitting on the bleachers, 10 kids around you. At least one of them, according to the odds, is probably LGBT. So anytime you are in the locker room with your friends, in the hall, in a class, and you pull out faggot, or you say that's so gay, you have to realize that somebody's listening. That word hits somebody deep. Every time you use those words in that way, you are telling somebody that they are less. You are telling somebody that somehow what they can't control, makes them inferior.
First, I'm a mom, and now that's not really that weird, but I have 3 kids. The thing that makes that odd, though, is that I'm also a lesbian. Today, that doesn't sound strange at all, but I can tell you that when I came out about 30 years ago, there were lots of people who really could not comprehend how someone could be both a lesbian and a mom. We have come a long way for sure. And the third thing that I am is I'm an ordained minister. And again, not long ago, that was something that people just couldn't get their minds around. Until just a few decades ago, people thought that anyone who was of the LGBTQ community was also perverted and sinful and just pure wrong. And so in those days, you couldn't even be a member of a faith community, much less be an ordained minister. But now I am all three, very happily, very proudly, and this is a big deal. We have come a long way. A lot has changed.
I remember back in high school, I had a very dear friend who I'm sure back then, I knew he was gay. And I'm from a very small city, and it makes me feel sad that he wasn't able to come out to me. But I think it was because at that time he did not feel safe. That was kind of instrumental in my friendship with this person, and kind of shaping my beliefs and my ideas that we're all the same. I think this world is going in a good direction as far as acceptance, and I think it's starting here with NHS.
I am really proud to say that there has been quite an evolution of the general consensus of how we feel about the LGBT community. I think we still have a long way to go, or at least a little bit to go in sort of the equality of how everybody's treated. But I see a huge difference in from when I went to school and now, and I'm very proud to be a part of that evolution.
It changed because there were many people like you who always stood up and said, no, we will not be dismissed, we will not be ignored, we will not be discriminated against. And we need to keep on saying those things, because even though we've come a long way, there still is a lot more work to do. And so let's join our voices and keep saying to everyone that we won't stop standing together until everyone has the freedom to love whom they will.
Love is defined as a profoundly tender, passionate affection or feeling of warm personal attachment for another person.
When I fall in love, I want to fall in love with someone's personality,
their ideas,
their sense of humor,
and the memories we make together.
I want them to fall in love with me, my faults, my imperfections. They won't have to love everything about me, but they will love me. We will be in love with each other, and not because they're a boy and I'm a girl.
I won't fall in love with someone because of their gender or because I need a knight in shining armor. When I fall in love, I will fall in love with a person and a heart, not a gender.
Because nowhere in the definition of love does it say that love has to be held only between a man and a woman, and we shouldn't be expected to keep it that way. Whether I find a knight in shining armor
or a pretty princess
isn't what's important.
The way I love them will be important.
Love is between two hearts, not two genders.